Speed round, here we go. So, industry game changers. And we just need to flip our decks there, I think. And so this session has been popular, and we've asked our presenters to give you some quick snapshots on what's happening in their particular business. Some of them are transitioning, some are expanding, and some are new to the region. So please welcome our first presenter from Thousand Islands Casino, a great Canadian game, John Stolte. And for those of you, this is a transition that's happening with one of our biggest employers in the region. Welcome, John.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today on behalf of Chuck Keeling, who's our Vice President of Stakeholder and Community Relations, and more importantly, Andy Lacroix, who you'll get to know over the next little while. Andy Lacroix has been appointed our Executive Director for the Eastern Gaming Bundle, which of course includes Thousand Islands, and I'll get to the nuances of how the bundles work in a moment. But they both wished they could be here today, and they thought it was enough to take this opportunity to tell you, the community, of who's setting up shop in your backyard come January 11th. And we're certainly very excited. We've been working hard for the last 3 years with the OLG and different various levels of government to get to this day. It's an important stage for the government as well. Obviously, moving something from public to a private entity is a very difficult and onerous process, as you can imagine. We've certainly been great partners with the OLG thus far, working side by side. I'm part of that transition committee as well. And we've been working very, very hard over the last 3 months to get to January 11th. So we're very confident it's going to be great. It's going to be great for the community. We're going to continue on to do the great things that the OLG has done at Thousand Islands. We see some great opportunities. That's why we are so excited to win this gaming bundle. So with that being said, I'll get to the presentation in a minute, but I just want to give you a little bit of background, and I'm trying to keep to the 10 minutes, and I will, I promise, is what happened to gaming since 2012. So maybe a lot of people don't understand all the nuances and the different things and how it's transitioned. So in 2012, the OLG announced its OLG modernization strategy. So what that is, I mean, I did the same thing, I kind of scratched my head and said, what does that truly mean? So as we learned through the process is that obviously there's pressures on the OLG, like any business, is to have greater returns for the province. The OLG does do a lot of good, support a lot of groups, and of course ultimately revenue for the province as well. So out of their 24 assets that they do have, it was recognized they can do a better job at gaming, and who can do a better job than the government is private entities like us, like ourselves. We're experts in gaming. As well as, you know, if you've been to Las Vegas and seen some of the resorts down there, they do a much better job than we can do here. So there's lots of room for improvement. And so as we went through that, then the OLG recognized, okay, not only do we have to privatize, we also got to look at other opportunities for the province. So they have 24 assets which need to be transitioned out. And then another 5 locations were identified to add more properties, and again, expanding the current full to 29 properties. So what they did from there on a geographical basis is basically look at the created bundles within the province of Ontario and put properties in certain bundles. This being the Eastern Gaming Zone. In this bundle is included in Thousand Islands, the slots at Kawartha Downs, and there's going to be a new build in Belleville. So as the process unfolded, they asked us as industry experts to help them with their process. So a request for information went out. We responded to them in obviously the way we do and gave them lots of information on how to conduct themselves and how to move forward with the gaming business and get the best return for the province of Ontario. From there, it went to an RFPQ process where the first gaming bundle, the Eastern Gaming Zone, this one was released to go out for a bid. So a pre-qualification process then started. Again, we're talking from 2012 till now, so 3 years has gone past. So pre-qualification, we were accepted and approved on the pre-qualification process, and then about a year later we moved to an RFP process, and that was in a very arduous process, very difficult, obviously to give everything that the province wanted in terms of successful gaming environments in your communities. So we went to the RFP process. We were now down to a very few select major operators, and it was announced just a short time in late summer that Great Canadian Gaming actually won the first gaming bundle as released by the OLG. So we are very, very happy. We had our eyes set on this bundle from day one when it was announced who would be in that bundle and what zones. We feel there's an immense amount of opportunity to grow these properties, to do a better job than build on what the OLG has done, but make it better. The big part of it is capital dollars were needed. And the only way the OLG could do that is to come to us and say, okay, you guys, what's your plan, and what are you going to do to help us get to a better place? And at the end of the day, it's going to benefit the communities, it's going to benefit the province, and give the players a better experience at all our properties. So that's how it kind of segued from 2012 to present. So I'll quickly start with the presentation. It's more about who Great Canadian is now. Now you know how we got here. It's a matter of who's setting up shop in your backyard. So we partnered up in the first gaming bundle with some financial backers. Of course, with only 3 of 29 properties being released so far in their process, we certainly want to keep our powder dry for the next bundle and hopefully be more successful as we go down the road. So we partnered up with some financial backers, and we called this the Ontario Gaming East LP, or I call it OGELP for short. Basically, it's a partnership between Great Canadian and some Ontario-based partners, just as again, I said before, is more of a financial background. GCGC, Great Canadian Gaming, is the majority partner in this agreement, and we will be the face of the operations. It will be our staff, all the OLG people will be working for us that are currently there now, and working with them side by side. I can tell you they're very, very excited about the opportunity to keep working with us, to keep moving forward, and to make the place a better place for the gaming customers. So we have lots of experience in terms of our partnership who we have built with. So lots, about 45 years experience in gaming. Lots of places that we game and have experience at is 24 gaming, racing, and hospitality properties all across North America. We're all over Canada in 5 provincial jurisdictions. So lots of experience dealing with different levels of government, in addition to the U.S. and North America, South America. And annual gross revenue we're responsible for is approximately $2 billion. So who is Great Canadian Gaming, more importantly, at this point? So we are a publicly traded company. We trade on the TSX under the symbol of GC. We have a market cap of approximately $1.3 billion. We have currently 17 gaming facilities in BC, Ontario, New Brunswick, which we just acquired and just started operations there in October, so we've been pretty busy. Nova Scotia, we have 2 properties, and I'll go show you a geographical map on those a little bit later, and then we have 3 sites in Washington State. Of those, we have a different variety of level of gaming properties. We have 9 casinos, 4 racetracks, a mix of thoroughbred and standardbred products. We have 3 GCGCs, which are called community gaming centers. So these are a mix of slot and bingo facilities and state-of-the-art with state-of-the-art entertainment amenities attached to them. And they do very, very well for us and are well received within their communities. We have 2 four-diamond hotels in Richmond, and I'll go over those a little bit later. 3 show theaters, approximately 50 food and beverage outlets, and conference and meeting space. So as you can see, we're pretty well diverse in terms of different hospitality and gaming options that we provide. We have over $1 billion ourselves in gross gaming revenue. We have 4,800 employees, soon to add another 750 on January 11th between Kawartha Downs and Thousand Islands, which is good news. Again, and we have a great understanding of the different regulatory bodies that we have to deal with. As you can imagine, different rules, different red tape in every province that you deal with, and it can be quite cumbersome sometimes. Our community outreach, and I talked a little bit about that earlier with Chuck Keeling. This is his brainchild. So Proud was launched, I can tell you, at the property I was at earlier this year. What it is, it's a model and it's commitment of our social responsibility back to our communities. And one of the things that the OLG employees are getting really, really excited about when I speak with Craig Betts at Thousand Islands was, Craig, you're going to become more involved in the community. Whatever you do, it's going to be a Thousand Islands initiative. It's not going to be an OLG initiative. It's not going to be a Great Canadian initiative. It will be a Thousand Islands initiative. So he was really good, and he was really proud to hear that he will be responsible for being the face with Andy out there to do the great things in the community that Great Canadian does. So we do support different employee initiatives. So we recognize volunteer time of our associates. So if they do volunteer hours at any type of organization, then we will actually reward that organization with a cash sponsorship up to $500. So again, that's just something that we do to help promote our community outreach. I know at Flamborough we did a bunch of different things this year. We actually had our associates walk the racetrack, and for every mile that they walked, we actually rewarded their charity of choice some nominal dollar amounts as well. So again, just more of an outreach program, and we support over 1,200 organizations in North America. So as I was alluding to before, in terms of the geographical map of where we are, and we're heavily concentrated in British Columbia, with our River Rock Casino Resort is our jewel of all our properties. It's located in Richmond. The Hard Rock Casino Vancouver basically switched over to Hard Rock. It's the first in Canada about a year and a half ago, and we put over $40 million in redevelopment into that property, and we're just starting to see the benefits now of an expanded gaming as well as entertainment options in that casino. On Vancouver Island, we have the View Casino Royale and Casino Nanaimo, which are on Vancouver Island, really nice facilities. Fraser Downs Racetrack, which is out in Surrey, Hastings Racetrack in Vancouver, and then the community gaming centers, which are called Branded Chances out in Vancouver, as I alluded to earlier. We have 3 card gaming centers in Washington State. There's lots of competition there. There's like people within 6 feet of us down there. So, but they've been a staple and they've been with us from day one. In Ontario, currently we have Georgian Downs and Flamborough Downs, which are both slot racetrack facilities, and both have harness racing, with Flamborough racing 9 months of the year. Soon to add 2 more properties in there, of course, onto this map, and soon a third next time we go around. We have 2 properties in Nova Scotia, Halifax and Sydney, at Cape Breton Island, and New Brunswick, which was just acquired most recently. So we have lots of development background, as I talked to you about before. We've developed, built, we have lots of experience doing that. And our motto is plan, and make it done. We've always come in on budget and on time on any renovation or build that we've done. So our business goals is build on what OLG has done at Thousand Islands. We're going to invest in the property, and I'll show you a slide on that in a minute because I know you're going to be very interested in what's going on at Thousand Islands. Expand the offerings, make it a better experience for our guests, and ultimately to benefit the province. Business goals, again, lots of economic benefits through redevelopment, expansion, and new builds. So the important thing at Thousand Islands, what their commitment is to do for the OLG was what we put in, is again, it will be a full refurbishment and modernization of the site. Continue to build on what OLG has done. They have a great footprint there, a great property with a great location, so we plan to make it a bit better. The plan is to have 450 electronic table games, 22 tables, expanded gaming floor, a racebook teletheater for horse racing, and a VIP area, expanded F&B offerings, including a small place for entertainment. So the partnership vision is, again, is to position these facilities to be obviously as efficient as possible and get the guest experience for the guest. And that's it. Thank you.